Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Tama Center Station here in the center of Tama City, in the not center of the Tama region, in the not center of Tokyo. And the reason I've come all the way out here to the west of Tokyo today is to ride a special limited edition Studio Ghibli themed train. Now, if you don't know what Studio Ghibli is, in my opinion, they need no introduction, but they are a famous Japanese animation company known for producing films such as Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and My Neighbor Totoro. And since the beginning of October, they have collaborated with the Tama Monorail out here in the west of Tokyo to feature one of Studio Ghibli's more overlooked films, but it's one that was set here in the Tama region. So join me as we ride this limited time Studio Ghibli themed monorail. So the thing is, there is a grand total of one of these special liveried monorail trains that are currently running. It runs back and forth on the line about 13 and a half times throughout the course of the day. So if I miss this one, I have to wait about an hour and a half to catch the next one. So thankfully, I'm here at Tama Center a little bit early, so we'll be able to catch this special train. Why did I need to come to Tama Center specifically? Well, they are currently running a stamp rally, as well as apparently selling some, I guess you want to call them special tickets, day passes that are themed around the specific Ghibli movie in question. What that Ghibli movie is, we will come to in more time, especially once the train gets here. So we've got our first stamp rally spot here, picked up one of these cards, so let's see if I can do this offhanded. Tama Center, like that. Close enough. Stamp number 1. Just like that, our special ticket is acquired. Anyone recognize what movie this is without me saying it? Probably not. As our special livery train pulls into the station, I just want to say that if you like this video or want to see more from me in the future, consider leaving a like or subscribing to my channel. Or if you want to support me directly, consider becoming a member. Currently, all my members get their names in my video, so if you want to see your name here, consider joining. Now that the train is here, let's get on it and talk more about the movie that the special livery is honoring. Pom Poco, known in Japanese as Heisei Tanuki Gassen Pom Poco, is a 1994 film that focuses on a group of shape-shifting tanuki, referred to in the English version as raccoons, who try and stop a major urban development project known as New Tama from being built in their forest habitat. Now, while I hate to spoil the outcome of the movie for you, but owing to the giant suburban development project you can see outside the window of the monorail, the tanuki eventually lose, taking their place amongst the human world. The film was created by Studio Ghibli, led by famous filmmaker Hayao Miyazaki. Although Ghibli had released several films prior to Pom Poco, including My Neighbor Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service, Pom Poco would be their most successful to that point, drawing in over 2.8 billion yen in the Japanese box office in the year of its release. This record would, though, be blown out of the water 3 years later by Princess Mononoke, which grossed 4 times as much as Pom Poco did. I think Pom Poco is often overlooked because it came out in the middle of other Ghibli classics, sandwiched in between Kiki's Delivery Service and Princess Mononoke. But, as an interesting fact, Pom Poco was the first Ghibli movie to incorporate CGI animation, although a majority of the film is still animated in a traditional hand-drawn style. Of course, before we leave the station, gotta pick up our next stamp. Still fine. So welcome everyone to Tama Dobutsu Koen Station here on the Tama Toshi Monorail. Now this station serves the Tama Dobutsu Koen. Dobutsu in Japanese means animal, and Koen means park. It's a zoo. It's Tama Zoo, or better known as the Hino Zoo from My Dear Friend Nokotan. So have you ever seen the Deer Brain Rot anime? Yeah, that's this zoo behind me. This zoo is, as far as I'm aware, the largest in Tokyo at about 50 hectares, which is about 5 times the size of the Ueno Zoo. So definitely a lot bigger this zoo is. And better as well, because Japanese zoos, as far as I'm aware, don't exactly have the best reputation. You really shouldn't be going to all those unique animal cafes, by the way. Animal welfare is not the best, so far as I'm aware, in Japan. But interestingly, something across from the zoo is something that's a little more relevant for this channel, and that is Keio's Tama Dobutsu Koen Station. Because at Keio's Tama Dobutsu Koen Station, there is the Keio Railland, which is a small theme park, museum, I don't really know which you call it, but they have some old Takeo trains there as well as a small gift shop, and it's a nice place to kill some time, which is what I did while waiting for the Pom Poco train to make its giant loop. Thankfully, in just a few minutes, the Pom Poco train will be back and heading in the correct direction, north towards Tachikawa. So, as we get back on the train, why don't we talk more about the Tama Monorail itself? Until the turn of the 21st century, Western Tokyo's train lines were disconnected, with several kilometer-long gaps between the Seibu Haijima, JR Chuo, Keio Main, and Keio Sagamihara lines. Western Tokyo is known as the Tama area, with Tama meaning foothills. Thus, the area is much more hilly than the rest of Tokyo. So, an ordinary train line running north-south wouldn't work to connect these lines like it would in the flat east. That was until the Tama Monorail was constructed. The first section of the Tama Monorail opened in 1998, connecting the north side of Tachikawa Station to Kita Kamidai in the city of Higashi Yamato. The second section, which connected the south of Tachikawa Station to Tama Center Station, opened 2 years later in 2000. Today, the line is 16.1 kilometers long, taking about 40 minutes to complete the journey between Kita Kamidai and Tama Center. With its close proximity to several universities, as well as the monorail providing access to entertainment spots like the Tama Zoo and Tachikawa, the monorail saw about 43 million passengers in 2023, or around 132,000 people every single day. Another station means another stamp. Let's see if I can get this one correctly. No, that's probably the worst one thus far. Stamp number 3. So welcome now to Tachikawa Kita Station, which is unsurprisingly to the north of main Tachikawa Station, the busiest JR-specific station in all of Tokyo. And if you want to know more about that, watch my video up in that upper right corner. Its sister station, Tachikawa Kita's sister station, Tachikawa Minami, is just to the south of Tachikawa Station, meaning that these two stations are only about 400 meters apart. It takes about 50 seconds to go from one platform to the other, but only an Olympic-level sprinter can make that distance in that time, so I just don't see the point of having these two stations all that close together. The definite props that I will give Tachikawa Station is the area around the station is one of the best monorail watching spots in all of Tokyo. Because of course you have the Sun Road to the north of the station, this long tree-lined boulevard where the monorail runs overhead, and then you have all the elevated walkways in and around Tachikawa Station proper. Both these stations are also incredibly busy owing to the giant connection they have to the main JR Tachikawa Station. I don't know if they're the busiest, I'll put their passenger numbers down here somewhere, so we'll see what those are, but yeah, definitely the busiest stations that I've seen thus far, even compared to Tama Center and Takahata Fudo and all the others. But now there's only one stop left on our journey, so why don't we head there and talk about what the future of the Tama Monorail has to hold. In the future, the Tama Monorail is set to grow massively. First, let's talk about an extension in the north. While the Tama Monorail currently ends at Kamikitadai, an extension of the monorail is planned to start construction sooner than later. The monorail is set to run along Tokyo Prefectural Route 5 to Hakone Gasaki Station in the town of Mizuho. Something intriguing about this extension is the city that the line will run through for the majority of its new length. This city is Musashi Murayama, a city that, as of today, has no train stations whatsoever, the only one in Tokyo that's like this. A Japanese railway business patent was obtained for this extension earlier this year, with the construction of the northern extension set to be completed in the mid-2030s. There's also a plan to extend the monorail southwards towards Machida. In 2022, the Tokyo Metropolitan Government announced a preliminary route for the southern extension, including where some of the stations would be built. Machida, despite being one of Tokyo's largest municipalities in terms of population and in area, only has 8 total train stations, mostly in the southeast corner. So, should the monorail be extended southward, it can provide new links to those who live, work, and want to visit Machida. Of course, one last station means one last chance to not mess up the stamping. Bang! We got it at the end. With that, all 4 stamps acquired. So even though I have this completed stamp relay, you're supposed to, I guess, show it to show the fact that you finished it all, but there was no station attendant here, at least not one that I saw, so I'll have to go back to Tachikawa to get that, and I'll put in a picture of what the reward is once I get it. So, with a completed stamp relay in hand, we'll end our journey here at Kami Kitadai. And to be honest, I enjoyed it. I never ridden the monorail all the way in one day before, only taking the bit from Tama Center to Tachikawa. So it was nice to come all the way up here. Of course, in the future, it'll keep going towards Hakone-Gasaki, but it doesn't right now, so this is where our journey ends. And thank you for joining with me today. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please consider leaving a like or subscribing to my channel, or if you want to support me, consider becoming a member. Members have extra perks, like having their names in all of my videos. With that being said, thank you for riding with me today, and take care. Goodbye for now.